to Living Life with Purpose. I'm your host, Phil Foster. I want to talk to you about something that I find quite interesting. Maybe if you're like me, at least where I grew up, sometimes someone would say, "Hey, buddy, don't get too above your rear, and don't get too big for your britches." And maybe you've heard somebody say something like that. There was a guy in the Bible got like that. His name was Saul. He was the first king of Israel. And Saul, when he started out, the Bible very clearly says he was head and shoulders above every other man. And it even described him as being a handsome man. So he probably wasn't just an average guy. He started out, he's like, when he was chosen to be king, he's like, "Are you sure you got the right guy?" And over a course of time, he started out from a very humble guy to a very proud and arrogant guy. And in one case, he went above and beyond what God had allowed him to do as king. He got ahead of the priest, he got ahead of the prophet, and began to do stuff, and it caused him a great problems. And God was able to even take his kingship away from him when the prophet said God required, obedience over sacrifice. And so the point of this today is not to get too big for your britches. There's a lot of things that God wants you and me to do to make a difference with our life, to not get to the point where we can't take up the small things. I think Jesus showed that better than anybody else when he got up one time and he took a towel and he washed the feet of the disciples. I think in that moment he showed us what true humility was, that not even to withhold a cup of water from a kid. The disciples didn't want Jesus to be bothered with the kids. What am I saying is, when you're doing what God's called you to do, don't ever get so high and mighty that you forget that it's the main things are the plain things are the main things, and do the things that you think Jesus would do. And if you'll do that, I think you'll end up in a pretty good spot, and God will be pleased with how we're making a difference with our life. Well, I hope this made sense today. At least I thought the title was interesting. But till we get together next time, hey, may God bless you, and hey, have a great day.